So let's say we want to simplify something like this. Okay, so simplify. Well, that's a rather ambiguous word. What do I mean by simplify? I mean, maybe just factoring the top would be some sort of simplification, but that might not be what we want here because we do have this sum of radicals, and I know that taking conjugates might help get rid of radicals, or at least move them around. So let's see what happens if we multiply by 1. We're multiplying by 1. Remember, there's only 2 rules. There's nothing against factoring this x squared minus 4. As a matter of fact, let me do that right now. What I'm going to end up with in the top is this expression. What I'm going to end up with in the bottom is root x times root x plus root of 2x minus root of 2x, and then minus 2, because I have a minus. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. Over here in the middle, I had to make a choice. I could have written that as root 2 root x, and this is root 2 times root x. But since both of those are equal to root 2x, I decided to write it like that. However you want to write it. You might have seen that they cancel out by now because you might know about conjugates so far and recognize that these two were going to cancel anyway. Maybe you didn't write it at all. That's also fine as long as you keep your stuff straight. So what do I have? I have this. And I have an x minus 2 and an x minus 2. And that gives me a simplification. I've gotten rid of the denominator completely. I still have some roots, but it's definitely simpler, in my opinion, than what we had before. Now, you might have one objection. You might say, well, what if x was equal to 2? Well, if it turns out that if x was equal to 2, then technically you might say, hey, didn't we just divide by 0 right here? Well, actually, this is still going to be correct, but only because we're lucky. We're lucky because if x was equal to 2, what happens when this is 2? Because we know these two expressions are equal for any number that's not equal to 2. But if this is 2, then this is going to be 0. And if x is 2, then this is going to be 0 because of the numerator. So there's actually no issue whatsoever with the possibility of x being 2. We get 0 in both situations.